Pronouns. Eating bugs.
Oh yeah, a shit ton of people kinda shit on that they are pronouns. Like, everything is woke now. Pronouns. But what's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? Just, it's an option. You don't have to deal with it if you don't want to. But why are people always complaining about that shit? I don't get it.
Actual bugs.
Wait.
Actual.
Oh, and under. Yeah. Oh god. It kind of reminds me like on Cyberpunk on release. I mean, the NPCs in Cyberpunk still are a little. Sometimes they do weird things, especially when they drive cars. But it has gotten better. But this is actually hilarious. Yeah, I like that. I wouldn't consider that a bug. It's like a feature.
Bugs. Gig jobs. Diversity hires. Loading screens. Cutscenes. Girl bosses.
Oh yeah, I've seen that there are a lot of loading screens in the game, and I've seen another video about it where they try to break and mod the engine or the game that they actually don't have the loading screens in between, and they found out the engine just can't handle it, so the game just breaks. It's adult content? Nah. There. It's pretty mild. If you play Cyberpunk for a little bit, then you know what adult content is. there you get the full boobs and all. I mean, when you create a character, you even can pick the genitals in Cyberpunk. So.
Nor am I in any way attempting to make a statement about the competence of the current security forces and/or apparatus in Aquila City.
Shut up, love. Brokeback Space Cowboys.
Good thing this is Twitch and not YouTube. I mean, kind of both. We're watching YouTube right now. So that is on YouTube. So it should be safe for Twitch too, right?
Segregated classes. Environmental catastrophes.
Wait, did he just say segregated classes?
Brokeback Space Cowboys. Segregated classes.
Oh, fuck.
Segregated.
White kids all on one side, black kids all on the other side. That's fucked up.
Classes. Environmental catastrophes. To be fair, some parts of the UK already look this bad.
Is that true? UK people, is that true? Is it that bad in the UK right now? Do we need to send help? Come on, don't be shy. I know I got UK guys in the chat.
Bloke with shit on his face.
Yep, hydrating. What? Shit on his face? Wait. I need to pay you a little more attention here.
Living in pods. Some bloke with shit on his face.
I definitely, you know why I know that this guy is from the UK? It's this dry humor. some bloke with shit on his head. But by the way, what's your any one of you have experience with Starfield? I haven't played it. I have seen a shit ton of videos, and what I've seen didn't want to make me buy it at all. Yeah, I'm not in a cube. Look, it's all round. I'm in a crystal sphere. I'm into esoteric now. If you rub me, I tell you the future. There you go, Larry. More out of context. Some models are rip-worthy in this game. Yeah, especially the facial expressions. They look like so dated. Yeah, there was this game back in the day. How was it called again? Deus Ex or something. And even that had better face expressions. And that was like in the 90s.
And whatever that is.
Yeah, that sounds about
Lots
right.
and lots of walking.
I love these suits. They look so goofy. They're so bad, they kind of are good again.
5 years in the failing.
Wait, they did work 5 years on this, and that's all they got? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's looking kind of pretty, but from the gameplay I've seen, it's like, that's not 5 years worth of gameplay. They must have restarted the project like 3 times to get only that little bit of gameplay in there. Honestly, don't even think it looks pretty. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty enough to be not considered like a complete graphical train wreck, but it's definitely not state of the art. I agree with that. You're right. The lighting is crap. Did you play it? Did you actually play it? So I only know it from videos, and the videos were like, I don't know. From what I've seen, I don't want to play this game. Actually, it's not worth the price at all. If I get it on a sale for like $10, then maybe I think about it. But nah. I played maybe 2 hours and I hated it. Performance horrible, graphics very meh, and gameplay bad. Yep, that's what I get it. And that's what I got out of the videos too. Even the story seems to be so lame. Yeah, the story to me felt like JetGPT has wrote it. I don't know why, but I love the suits. They're great. They're probably the best thing in the game. Oh yeah, have you guys seen the tweet where Todd Howard was like, "Oh yeah, it's supposed to be boring. You're playing it wrong. Boring is good."
This video is an extremely spoiler-rich environment, so bail out now if you don't want me to tell you about lots of secret...
Oh, you hear guys? Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you also want to play this great game with a great story, you need to tune out now, sorry.
Believe it or not, some of the best and worst games I have ever played have had a Bethesda logo on the box. And I mean
that. I don't know. I mean, really way back in the day, that might be true when they brought out like Morrowind. That was kind of state of the art stuff. It was pretty good. You had this big open world, and it was a new thing. But I don't think Bethesda really changed much since then. They didn't really evolved out of that. Sometimes feel like they're making the same game over and over again, and just in different settings. They made one of the best engine for modding and in general. I'm not too, I don't know. I've never done modding for any of the Bethesda games, so I can't really comment on that. Might be true, might be not. But best engine in general, no. Otherwise, they wouldn't have these problems with all the loading screens right now, where they have to put in so many loading screens because they can't handle that big of a world. It's like they have like issues with flow. How do I explain that in short? They their engine can't handle like big worlds. You had that problem back in the day with Minecraft when it was new. The further away you got from the 0, 0, 0 coordinates from the world, the more glitchy and buggy it got because of the way float point numbers work. And that problem was solved like 10 years ago. And Bethesda still haven't solved that in their engine. So I would say that's a pretty good argument to make that their engine is really, really outdated.
Some of the worst games I've ever played have been Bethesda 2, like Fallout 70 Fuck, and
Oh
Redfall.
yeah, fair. That's fair.
Yes. Bethesda only technically published Redfall, but come on, it was an interdepartmental project, and Bethesda...
I mean, LODs, that is pretty old technology. If you don't have decent LODs, then you have already failed. I mean, even LOD technology becomes obsolete now with Unreal 5.3, it was, I think, where the LODs are pretty much procedurally generated. You don't have to make them manually anymore. It's just like the game does that in real time. How was it called? Tessellation? No, that was. Oh, I need to look that up again. That was. There's some amazing new technology in the Unreal Engine. I think a lot of developers now move to the Unreal Engine. They're just the best in terms of how evolved their engine is and technology. Also, Unity really screwed up with them wanting to make dev studios pay more. I think that was like if you make more than 100,000 on the game, which is not much on the game, you have to pay them extra or something, which is screwed up. No, Unreal Engine is fine. I mean, a lot of games in Unreal Engine are shit because the devs are shit and don't optimize well, so the games don't run well. But in general, it's by far the best engine out there. But yeah, I know what you mean. There are a lot of shitty games based on the Unreal Engine that don't perform at all, but that's really what the devs make with the engine and not a fault of the engine.
Qualification. I'm 300 plus hours in, playing on hard. I did not get a free early access copy of the game, nor any of the many highly lucrative sponsorship deals to plug this game like it was the best thing since strings on tampons.
What's a comparison? I like this guy.
In fact, I could typify my relationship with Bethesda thusly. More than half of all my Bethesda game reviews have been demonetised at best, and one was flagged for incitement to violence and other criminal infractions, until it was all overturned on appeal because it was a complete fabrication. It's safe to say we are not on good terms. I have given Starfield a good...
Wait. What was that?
And one was flagged for incitement to violence.
Bethesda flagged one of his videos for incitement of violence? Oh, that's fucked up. Oh, that's really fucked up. But I heard a lot of big studios do that to smaller creators. If they don't like the video they do on their games, they just flag it for bullshit. I mean, kind of same with me on YouTube right now. I just don't feel it to do anything, to put any work on YouTube videos because when it goes well, I get a lot of views and they just claim most of my viewers are bots, which is bullshit. And then they don't pay me shit for the videos.
That's a nice way of saying that I gave it my absolute best shot, and I have no skin in this game.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing often with games. When I know, yeah, it's shit, but I try to make the best out of it because I like the base idea of the game, the concept, and I really want to make it work, but most of the time, it doesn't. I steal children's pocket money and spend it on pianos. Who's this guy? Is that like the game designer of Starfield?
Because the tight-fisted bean counters at Bethesda have not paid off the full copyright for the music of this game.
Oh, he made the music for the game, and he wasn't paid?
As per fucking usual, anyone playing the soundtrack in their videos will get slapped with a big fat copyright claim by Enon Zur.
Oh, they didn't pay for the full license, so they paid for the license so they can use it in their game, but not to the extent that people can play it on stream and video without getting copyright claimed. That's great. Because who would think that someone would play video games on stream or videos? In general, this entire copyright claim bullshit with music, I think it hurts music more than it makes them more money, actually. I think people tend to use more copyright less music now, and so the entire music business shifts because no one what okay, let me start over. So people watch a video with music and are like, oh, that's a banger track, where do I get that? And then it's some copyright less music, and then the kids listen to that music instead of the big company music that's licensed and copyrighted. So the big music somewhat dies out, I guess, over long term. I would assume that's what happens, right? I mean, I guess you still get that music in some TV shows and movies, but what are the kids nowadays consuming? Mostly streams and YouTube videos, I would say, right? And that's the music they hear, and then that will be the music they like the most. But I don't know, just speculating. That could be a thing. In my head, it is.
The snaffler of YouTubers' ad revenue. Been so generic since then, I swear he got early access to ChatGPT.
Yeah, feels like that. That's true. Bethesda is dead. I don't know if they're dead. I don't think so, but they have dropped the ball. They need to pick the ball up and run quickly. Otherwise, they might be dead.
Entitled Starfield is Creatively Bankrupt, where he describes this game with the level of piss and of vitriol that is rare to see these days. Similarly, you might want to swing by Razorfist and Wortherby while you're at it, because these are the only authoritative sources that I can vouch were not paid off.
Never heard of them, but maybe check them out, what they say. But I don't know, there are plenty of very negative reviews on YouTube. From every AAA there. Yeah, true. Yeah, pretty much nowadays all the AAA games are bullcrap. Nice graphics, shit gameplay, and just try to make as much money as they can. I mean, kinda, it's fair. They're companies, often publicly traded. They want to make money, and that's fair. But I think you can make a good game and make good money. Yeah. That's all the thing. They release them way too early just because they want to finally start making money. And then everyone shits on their games. And then they tell people, oh no, the game is fine. You just play it wrong. It's so silly. I don't know what they're thinking. And I think that the devs itself, they're not the problem. I think most game developers actually want to make a good game. But it's like the the people behind them that push them to release it way too early, but because they want to start sales and make money and things. Yeah, the people in control of the money. Yeah, that I think that's also why a lot of indie games turn out way better in terms of quality and gameplay. They don't have the problem with a big publisher or any money giver behind them pushing them to do things they don't want to do, or cut the gameplay short to release it earlier. You think it's more complex than just people in control? I mean, they're making the calls. They could also make the call. Okay, let's give this game another year, and then it will be good, and then people won't shit on it. But often the people that have the money don't have any idea about games or game development. So they're just like, no, it's man, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Look pretty. So people will buy it. We can market that. It looks pretty. We can make marketing with pretty images, and then people do pre-order it, and we get money even before we release it. And then it comes out, it's complete shit, and people want their money back. Yeah, Jake. Yeah, you're right. No more time, less money, and top people's mind. Yeah, all game developers I talked with in the past, they are usually people that have a passion for what they do, and they want to make great games. The coders I don't know. I mean, of course, there might be also some shit coders, but as a big studio with a big name like Bethesda or whatever, you have the money to hire good people, and I don't think they hire idiots.
And much kudos to Uncle Mumble's video, where he deep dives into the weapon and perk mechanics, which I found to be an incredibly useful resource.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. A lot of people that were working at studios back in the day when they make the great games, they actually were well paid, so they took the money and started their own studios. Like Blizzard. A lot of people that worked for Blizzard founded their own studios by now and make like these indie games. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the people they hire after that are necessarily shit. Of course, they don't have the experience the older dudes have, but that doesn't mean they don't know how to create games or how to code. Cities Skylines 2, I don't blame the developers, I blame Paradox for pushing the game out too. So yeah, that's totally possible. I don't know if that's true in that case, but yeah, that's probably what happened. And that's often the case. That's the publisher is pushing these teams. Like you either get it out end of the year, or the project is cancelled, and you guys are fired. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. And if you come for the money and you learn a little bit of good how to code well, I don't think you get a good job in IT if you're shit at your job, because it's full of nerds. The people that hire you are nerds. They don't want some idiot in their team or be responsible for hiring some idiot that screws up the project. I mean, there are probably some cases, yeah. I mean, there always are, but I mean, in the great scheme, I don't think that's a big factor in why games are shit nowadays. The only mindset you need for coding is logic. It's simple logic. If you're somewhat decent at math, you're decent at coding. I don't know if the coders necessarily need the passion for the game design. That's why the game designers are for, and that's why you have a lead designer that tells people, okay, yeah, you make that feature, and then they check the feature and like, yeah, no, that's not exactly what we want now. So change that to that and this to this, and you know. And again, I think there are some cases where that is the reason, but in the great in the great scheme, that's not the case. I think 90% or over 90% of the time, it's publisher pushing dev teams to release early or overwork them, so they make a lot of mistakes, and yeah. But that's kind of the hard truth. Nowadays, if you want to make a pretty AAA game, then that costs a lot of money, and I don't see how you get around having a publisher, even if publishers in the most cases are just like these vampires that want to suck your energy out and all the money. Yeah. Satisfactory, great game. That you see, they have like a vision, they have passion for making it, and they what else was I trying to say? Oh yeah, they just take their time to get there, which I rather wait like 10 years on a game and be happy about playing a good game than having a game done in half the time and I hate it because it's shit. I mean that's wasted time for the players, that's wasted time for the devs, and I don't know if these games really make enough money that it's even really worth it for the publisher.
So what is
The suits again.
Starfield is a...
I think when you have like a crew, you can pick their clothing. I'm not sure on that, but it looks like it. Except it's really a mod, but I don't think so. I think that's just vanilla clothing, and he picked that as his crew uniforms.
essentially a dog's dinner of many science fiction games, tropes and mechanics, all stuffed into a sack that says decades old game engine, shaken about until it feels sick, which yet somehow manages to omit some of the most...
Oh yeah, and back to the game engine again. Yeah, the engine they're using is a decade old, and they just built spaghetti code on top and on top and on top. I think it's even a old Unreal Engine fork. So it's kind of Unreal Engine, but also not anymore.
Starfield is also essentially proof of two truisms. Quantity has a quality all of its own, in a not so good way, and a jack of all trades is a master of none.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. They really did go quantity over quality here. It's like you have all these planets you can go to, but they're all empty, and the outposts and stuff you can find there are like 3 models of the same setup, like the exact same setup. I've seen a video where someone found one research station and there was a dead guy lying in front of the door, and then they found another research station on another planet and the guy was dead at the exact same spot. So it's like not only like one style of outpost, but it's the exact same building that's just reused over and over again and copy pasted on different planets. Oh yeah, a jack of all trades is a master of none.
A jack of all trades is a master of none. In a possibly slightly more positive way. Ironic that I may have just accidentally quoted Joseph Stalin, because judging by some of the characters, script and concepts in Starfield...
Yeah, exactly. And what was Bethesda, and what's always the strength of them, to have like these handcrafted in-depth worlds where you can explore and find stuff everywhere, and it was exciting to explore their worlds. But here it's just, oh yeah, you have like 1 million planets and they're all procedurally generated bullcrap with the same 3 things you can find there. That's not fun. I would rather have like 3 planets and they are all handcrafted and full of life and exciting to explore. That makes more fun. But that's another marketing bullshit. It's like, oh, we have like big numbers, planets, and you can't go all everywhere, and you fly around and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's marketing was like, oh yeah, that's great, we love that. But for the end consumer, for the gamer, it's like, nah, that's shit. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong about that in general. To be like decent at a lot of things instead of very good at one thing. I personally don't think that's a bad thing. I myself are like more spread out uh, than an expert at one thing. But you have to be at least decent at these things. If you're like shit at everything, then you shit at everything, right? Then you still can do these things, but they will be shit. You know what I mean?
In fact, if you've played Fallout 4, you know roughly how Starfield plays. It's like sticking a toy space helmet on and...
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it. I only seen videos, and I already know how it plays. So that's why I don't want to buy it. It's boring. It's plain boring.
pretending you're dead.
And I love sci-fi games. I love space and spaceships. You all know that. And if your space sci-fi game sucks so hard that even I don't want to try to make it work, even with mods or something, then that has to say something. Yeah, I mean, you're right. And I think often that is even a good thing to be a jack of all trades. I mean, if you're like the lead of a development studio and you know a little bit about how coding works, how the artwork works, how the 3D modeling and shit works, I think that's a good thing. Then you're good in your job as a leader because you understand what the people below you are doing.
You do a lot of jogging, because private vehicle ownership is banned after the Great Reset.
Yeah, that's another thing. You're in the future. You have all this technology, but yeah, you land your spaceship, and from there you walk. No cars, no other means of transportation. You walk. You can jump a little bit with your jetpack, but that's how you move on the surface. like in the fucking Stone Age. Some say Bethesda's still an early date data of Stormworks Space DLC. Oh, I haven't seen the video on that one. Oh, that is such a fucked up DLC. I mean, you have to give them that. They have balls to put out these stupid ass DLCs, knowing that the kids just buy them. I don't know how anyone above 10 years old still plays that game. I mean, this game at least looks decent. It has some graphics. The 3D models actually have some texture. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against simplified voxel type style games, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm biased. I have a bad past with Stormworks, so I guess I shouldn't talk about that.
And free membership.
Oh yeah, I hate that. I mean, it's an RPG, and an RPG should give you at least some freedom. And how the game starts in telling you how to play and who to be. That's kind of I don't like that. If a game already tells you who you are and what you should be, that's not an RPG for me. An RPG is a role playing game. I mean, I guess you could understand it as you have to play. It gives you the possibility to play that role in this game, but nah. Yeah, I guess that's fair enough.
So they recruit you to travel around the galaxy, collecting space clutter.
But yeah, at least make it interesting. Make it not so boring and bland.
I guess it's a bit like Stargate, only replace Stargates with loading screens and plot structure.
Replacing Stargates with loading. So yeah. I mean, in a lot of space games, that's kind of what Stargates are, or jump gates, or however they're called in that game. But at least makes it interesting. It's less annoying than just a loading screen.
With fetch quests. Did I mention?
Oh yeah, the quest design. Like now that I have played Cyberpunk, which has awesome quest designs, they go the extra mile. They don't just make it bland and boring. Like go to X, pick up Y, and bring it to C. They have some really interesting quest designs. I only can recommend playing the story of Cyberpunk. It's good. It's really good. And I haven't played any story game for quite a while now. Because most of the story games in the past 10 years were just awful and boring. And Bethesda probably was like, oh yeah, they all do the generic boring bullshit, so let's do that. Let's work so we can bring the game out earlier. The Cyberpunk, yeah, it's actually pretty good now. It's really good. The NPCs still do some weird stuff sometimes, and there are a few floaty scenery bits here and there, but overall it's really good. If you play it for the story, it's amazing. I would say Cyberpunk is the best story game that came out since GTA 5.
Because space is very big. It's 99.9% empty, so travelling around in it is by very definition very, very boring. And
yeah, and that's fair. That's all right. I don't expect, like, when you fly through space that there is something interesting every kilometer, that there is an asteroid or something. No, that's fine. Space is empty, and it's kind of important to have it empty, so you get the sense of the scale of the solar system, of the universe. And I always find it amazing when I think about the universe, how incredibly huge it is.
It will be a crushing bore for some other people. It might be a bit of both to many. It's highly defective. Nevertheless, it has some serious merits. Is ideologically dysfunctional to the point of being propaganda, and it runs like a fucked cat on PC.
I don't know if I would use these words to describe it, but not wrong.
You could make a case that it's technically a 20-year-old game engine.
20 years, so they just put code on top of it for 20 years. Oh dear. Yeah, that's never a good sign.
With lots and lots of upgrades. Like this car.
We are streaming now for over 2 hours, and we are like half an hour in this video, and it still goes over an hour, so I would probably end at 6-7 hours of stream to finish this video. And I think we pretty much have seen enough to have a good picture of this game and what's all wrong with it. Until next time, bye bye!